I think at some point we discussed this. I believe that we are all born with a quota of luck. So right, so on every ride, and we all have a quota of luck for every ride. So you choose how you want to use that quota of luck, right? And same way I think about your speed, or let's say energy that you have, right? So I will save my energy for when I see a great stretch, where I know that there's nobody around, where I know I can use that to my contentment and fulfillment.
Correct.
Right?
And without impinging on somebody else's freedom.
Exactly. I mean, I cannot imagine for the life of me going crazy if I know there's huts on the side of the road, if there's a cyclist, motorcyclist, whatever, if I don't have good vision, right? In that sense, each one of us is an ambassador for this passion that is shared by us.
Yeah.
And what else? Then that off-road bit was about the fields, and just it's so easy to go wrong when you're going off-road because you think it's nobody's there and it belongs to nobody. And more often than not, all it takes is just having a quick chat, asking somebody who's around, are you okay with it or not? And going through. And if not, there are plenty of other places to go.
So in Australia, New Zealand, for example, where there are lots of big sheep farms, it's not always obvious whether you're on private land or not. But there are trails that go through private land. And you know what they struggle with? They struggle to teach motorcyclists to close the gates.
Okay.
Right? So the farmer has no problem with you riding the trail that is marked through his property. He has no issues at all. His sheep will get out.
Right.
Kangaroos will get in, whatever the local issues are, if the gates are left open. So these gates are not locked. They are closed and bolted. And the idea is, please use the trail, come up to the gate, unbolt it, open it, take your motorcycles through, come to the other side and close the gate behind you. And most farmers who object to motorcyclists on their farms are not objecting to the riding. They're objecting to the gate not being closed. Because the last guy who hops on his bike, he just doesn't want to take the extra moment to close that gate behind him. And that's it. That's the cultural problem that they struggle with.
I have one more.
Yeah.
For the friends who ride together, don't be okay. Because when you've decided a time in the morning, be there on time. Be 5 minutes early and turn up with a full tank of gas.
Be considerate.
I think there are a few of you who know who I'm talking about.
Be patient.
Yeah. I mean...
No, and kick the guys who can't be considerate and patient out of your group. Honestly, I tried being parts of communities very early on, and I always left groups very, very quickly if I didn't find them considerate enough or patient enough. And I'm not a guy who shows up late. So it's not patient being wait for me. Patient being have the consideration to show up on time because you know out of that group of 15, 11 will show up on time. So the other 4 need to go, or I will go, because I refuse to waste my time waiting for fools.
Yeah.
Right? What I would tell you to do is, I would like you to try one thing.
Wait. Shumi, what would you recommend people? Sorry, I should have done that.
I'm going to say, think about being a nicer human being. It doesn't apply to just motorcycling. It applies to everything, but it also applies to motorcycling in more ways than you can imagine. Okay, for example, my Multistrada has a stock exhaust, but it is a loud machine anyway because the engine is pretty loud. That means when I'm passing, for example, old people on scooters, families on scooters, I will never pass them with an open throttle. I will make sure my throttle is closed when I get past them. And that's only to take the noise out of the equation because there's already a house-sized motorcycle coming past you. Okay, and that person already looks like a spaceman because there's a reflective visor and a fluorescent green helmet and all of this. I don't need to think of you as an alien of me as an alien invasion. I need to be invisible to them. And to be invisible, one is to be not too close to them if you can avoid it. So when there's space, there's no reason to go 2 inches from them. And if you pass them, gather momentum early. Once they have you in your vision, then you can open the throttle and the noise will not surprise them. And that is just a small thing which I would do, 20 times on every commute.
Brilliant. Great one.
Right? 1. Yeah. 2, try this on your motorcycle. Try to ride at or below peak torque and see how fast you can go riding how you normally do. You'll discover there is no difference. But there is not a lot of noise. It doesn't feel quite that aggressive. It's actually very smooth and the jump in fuel economy will blow your mind. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm talking about this in such specificity. The Himalayan can, for example, be ridden in both ways. Because the vibration sits in the middle, you can sit above the vibration and have a great time, or you can sit below the vibration and have a great time. And I tried both. When you ride above, it feels awesome. There is no doubt about it. But when you ride like that, people look at you saying, here comes a dick. All the time. It's not that you're riding differently. It's because you're sounding different. And when they turn around, they see a larger motorcycle than they expect. So you've broken some expectation somewhere. You do the same speed below peak torque. The motorcycle is smoother in your hands, is burning less gas, but to them, it doesn't appear to be a threat. That noise element has been eliminated.
Have you had trouble sleeping? If you have, then head to the main motoring channel. We've been told that we talk a little too calmly and softly. We might be able to help.